Northminster start?
Well, it started as a mission church, started by Brainerd Presbyterian Church, because a lot of people were building homes and starting to move out in this area. And they thought we needed to have a Presbyterian church.
And Dr. Brady was, I guess, a member of that church and came out and started this church. And the first few meetings were held in his basement until this building was built.
The church was built in 1960.
That's a long time ago.
Yes, it is. It's a long time ago. But we've added on to it over the years, so
Yes.
it's very small.
This building was built pretty soon after the church was founded, but not this whole building. We had this one long hall that stopped at that door back there that goes to where the children's room is, and it stopped right after that little kitchen, and that was it in the beginning.
This was a growing area in Chattanooga at that time, and there were no Presbyterian churches,
In this area.
so it was started as a result of that.
When this church was first built here, it replaced a farm, probably a dairy farm. And there is still a old well out on our property somewhere. Of course, it's all covered up now to be safe. And there's also a pear tree out there, probably left over from the people who lived here. And back then, the people who came here all lived close to this building. In fact, close enough, I think everybody who was a member here could walk to their church.
So when did you first come to the church?
We came in 1969.
Wow.
That's a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it really was. How old were you when you came to our church?
I was about 25 years old.
I was probably 34.
Yeah, 34.
I was a lot younger than now.
Definitely, yeah.
And the first time we came, we didn't come to the church. We came to family camp at Camp John Knox.
Huh, was it fun?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know about family camp?
Yeah. Was it like an overnight camp?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I've been on those.
and we had cabins to stay in, and everybody had their family had a cabin, so it was a good time, and had games and worship services, and it was a lot of fun.
Sounds like
Actually, we joined the church after that because we enjoyed it so much and met so many people.
nice.
Yeah.
Who are some of the people you remember from the early years?
Well, Bill and Sarah McDonald were already members when I started coming.
The Cordinis, Andy and Martha Cordini and their family.
And then a few years, or about the same time I started coming, Susan Martin started coming.
April and Herb Quinn were here before we were, and they were always involved in the church.
Nancy Brannon,
Bill and Elaine
Bill
inside.
and Elaine inside.
Judy and Tom Knight. You may not know these people, but sometimes they're in church.
Greta and Corky Clark, and they were always involved with the young people too, and having activities with the young people.
Mary and Dale Robertson.
Phyllis and Atlee Pearson were a couple that was the very first members of the church.
Janet and Doug Giddings.
And Roy and Martha Russell were early members of the church too.
And you know Jay Banaszak, his family started coming pretty soon after that too. And Pat Huddleston. And all of those people had children who were young when my children were young in this church.
Our children were very young, like 3 and 5, so they started out very young here in the nursery.
Yeah.
As I remember, Gene Norris was the pastor. He was the first call pastor. He wasn't the first pastor. Dr. Brady was the first pastor that began the church.
What was Northminster like when you first came?
He was always welcoming, for sure. And we knew a few people who were members here. And that was one of the reasons we visited to begin with. We knew a few people and knew that we wanted to be a part of this church.
And one thing, when we first came here in the early 70s, desegregation had just happened. That's a big word. You might have heard that, but it means that they were going to try to let black students go to the same schools as the white students. Some people said, no, that's not okay. But people at Northminster were courageous and they said, yes, that's what we want and that's what people deserve. So people in this church worked to make that happen in the late 1960s.
The theology is very much the same as it was then. We were a church that bended more toward social justice and how we live our daily lives. And that was the focus of the worship services and church school. And I think that still holds true today. We had some outreach, much as we have today. The Bridge Refugee Services, because they were not here early on, but they've been here for, I think we celebrated 25 years that they have been here. And they've been an outreach for the church.
The people were very friendly. And the first person I met was a man named Herb Quinn. He died a number of years ago, but his wife is still alive, and she's the oldest living member of Northminster.
We had a men's softball team.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. When he was younger,
Yeah.
played on the softball team.
It's like baseball, right?
Yeah.
Softball.
We use a larger ball than a baseball.
Yeah.
Another event that we have vivid memories of are the annual fall hikes. Is that every fall we would a pretty large group, I'd say 20 or 25 or 30 or something, we'd gather and go on a hike. It was always up a mountain.
Yeah, I personally love hiking and camping.
Good.
Favorite outdoor activities.
Yeah, we'll have to plan another one.
Yeah.
And I remember having a vibrant Sunday school class, which was one of the things that we were looking for in a church. And I also remember we didn't have enough money to paint the exterior of the church, so we had about 6 or 7 of us coming every Saturday to paint the whole exterior of the church.
Wow. Must have been some commitment.
Yes, it was.
I understand that feeling.